welcome back to another episode of World of Tanks with Engady Titan, and we're on the Diamondback in Great Wall. Standard battle, and we're in the southern spawn. Great Wall is a difficult battlefield for the Diamondback. The Diamondback is, for those of you who don't know, in the great tradition of British steel boxes with an angry gun. This gun is better than most of the guns that found in the big, slow steel boxes that the British tended to build, in that it's a 50 pounder, which is very close to 120mm gun or something like that. It's like 110, 115 or something. I'm not sure. I looked it up at one stage, but what a 50 pounder translates to in caliber. But the problem with this tank is that it's slow. We're barely hitting 20 kilometers going downhill. Now it's consistently slow. We can probably make occasionally 19 kilometers going uphill as well. Or we can go back up that slope at about 20 kilometers. But the problem is that your fellow tanks will outrun you and you'll be left behind on this map. Which is why I'm going this way, because this is one of the few sections of the map where I can get into a position reasonably early on where I get good long lines of sight. Now, the upside of that, the downside of that is that sometimes the enemy doesn't come this way. So I could be on this position up here by the houses overlooking the town without achieving anything. Whereas if I went along the K line, I might see action. There'd be about 20% chance of seeing action. But the chances are that the leading tanks would either overwhelm the opposition by the time I would get to join in, or they'd have lost either on the saddle over the mountains, over the mountain spur there along the edge of the wall, or they'd have lost down in the southwestern corner, or sometimes both. Or they'd have won in one and lost in the other, or whatever. And the thing is that in the situations where they'd have lost, that's not so bad, except for me. It just means I don't get to join the fight. But in the situations where they lose, I would get then mobbed by the survivors. Because this tank is pretty much helpless if you get onto the side or rear. It doesn't turn very agilely, and it doesn't have the side armor that its Tech Tree partners do have, or its Tech Tree likes do have. This is actually fairly lightly armoured along the side armour. Not by the standards of most other people's tank destroyers, but certainly by the standards of British heavy tank destroyers. It's quite lightly armoured along the sides. But it still doesn't turn very lively, so people get out of the side of you. They can more or less stay there unless they make a mistake, and or you've backed up against a wall and they can't circle around you, and then they're sort of circling back the other way. It's not easy to do that. This thing is really slow in reverse. Now the 59-2 has made it through the gate, and I'm not going to bother chasing after it because I am not going to catch it. So I'm going to resume my vigil here on the ridgeline, and it looks like we've lost. We won the saddle and lost the southwest corner. However, the guys in the saddle, or the survivors, are going to attack the guys in the southwest corner, which is possibly not a good idea because they're probably outnumbered. We have a guy in the cap circle, but he doesn't look like he's going to stay there. He should probably have stayed for a while. See if he could force some mistakes, and it looks like some of the enemy are making for our cap circle in numbers of at least 2 or 3, which means 2 or 3 guys can cap very rapidly, and we're down 2 tanks, and the artillery's screaming for help. Now the artillery's making a run for it. He might have lifted a small bit too late, and I am the only tank coming to support when we're doing our raging speed of 18-19 kilometers going uphill. Now, the artillery should have kept going. He should not have attempted to turn here. He should have kept going right through the walls, out the other side, into the village, and then maybe try to lob shots over the walls into the... He might not have made it anyway, but he'd have a better chance than attempting to turn. This is actually bad news. There's a 45 TP in the cap circle, and he's not the easiest thing to hit when he's hull down. And I don't want to get too close because there's two tanks, and they're both fast enough to actually get behind me. Now I've managed to hit the 40 TP because he gave me side armor shot, or the 45 TP, side armor shot, and I was able to knock the capture points off of him, so most of the capture points now belong to the STG. And I have some support, which is good, because now we can push forward a bit. I can afford to I have somebody there to back me up if somebody gets onto my flank. We've lost the southwest corner again, and we've two tanks coming back to join us here in the cap circle as well. But I think there's enough here. I think we'll be able to deal with these guys. 45 TP is just gone. Hammer shot from the STG, and there's the remaining STG left, and I am willing to sort of chance him head on. He can't really stay where he is. He can't really hide in that location, and we have him. Okay, we're going to get him. If we don't get him from the ram, we're going to get him from a shot, and there we have it. We have him, and we're now only a tank down. However, we know all the remaining tanks are on the K line to the west. Biggest danger here is these guys run ahead of me, and the enemy sort of pull back, stay back, wait for these guys to come onto them, and just take them out as they arrive, because they'll get scattered. However, the enemy are actually coming this way. Now, we're the ones that are outnumbered. We should be actually falling back into cover and not pushing. The STG now is starting to push along. He's a good position, but he should just stay where he is. T-44 is a bit in the open. He should probably go and find cover. And the other guy's staying back with me, and I am just pushing. I'm not pushing too far forward, but I just want to get a decent range, but I don't want to be too close. I don't want these guys to get around me. And we've just lost the STG. Thing, you don't push. I've just seen people just throw away their positions because they push against superior numbers. Now the enemy, you see, the game's theirs to win, so they kind of have to push, and they can get two tanks into the fray at once if they actually coordinate their actions somewhat. We're actually out in the open, so it's not actually difficult to kill us at this point in time. One cannot take on multiple tanks at once. You have to make it into one-on-one fights if at all possible. So, just two of us left, and he just goes and pushes again, doesn't he? Against superior numbers, and he gets shot by multiple tanks, and he dies. Now, they should have rushed me right now. The whole lot out together all at once. I could not have killed all five of them quickly enough to stop somebody getting onto my flank. However, they chose to plink away from cover, which suits me fine. I am the one with the big thick armor in front, and I've got a really accurate gun. Well, it's not as accurate as a lot of other AT line type tanks, but it's accurate enough. The only thing I'm in real trouble from is the Polish heavy, because it's actually pretty well armoured. And he's not giving me much tank. He is actually a decent player of his machine. The VK3601 I don't even have to worry about, because that thing I don't think can actually hurt me from the front. We got rid of the OHO. Now, I suppose the only one that I don't blame really is the OHO. I could probably reverse at whatever it is, 7 or 8 kilometers an hour faster than the OHO can chase me, or at least a substantial fraction of the OHO's oncoming speed. But the 53 TP has made a run for it, and I've had the opportunity to shoot at him and did not take him out. But the thing is, the others were faster tanks, and if they were coming at the same time, they would have been a lot closer. And between the reload, I wouldn't have got all of them, and even from behind him, I think the VK3601 would probably do for me. And once he was behind me, even as a heavy tank, I think he would have no trouble staying behind me. However, he's the only one left, and now I can afford to close in, and we put a shot, try a cheeky shot under the STG wreck, but we don't manage to succeed. And I'm going to try it again, but I think I hit his tracks. he was kind of wiggling back and forth, and I didn't get, now I'm too low. I actually can't get a shot through the base under the other tanks, so I'm gonna have to, and I'm too high now. I think I just can't get a line of sight because the angle is now down into the ground. So I'm going to do this the old-fashioned way, but it doesn't matter. Once I get a clear shot at the front of the VK3601H, I just can put a round through pretty much whatever part of the front I want to. So we're done. Victory. Top Gun. But more importantly, Kolbanov's medal. I have had a Kolbanov's medal already, but I didn't get it in what I call a proper manner. I got it because I capped out, and because the enemies threw away the game. It was in Corellia. I was in the, I think it's the M1. It's the Tier 2 American light tank, and it was a Tier 4 battle, and the enemy had a 5-man Tier 4 platoon who were just cleaning up, and while they were cleaning down one side of the map, I and another guy went for the cap circle to put cap pressure on them. We cleaned out the enemies to cap. The other guy didn't survive. I went into the cap circle, and they did not come back, or anybody else in their team did not come back to reset the cap immediately. They just went off and killed the rest of my team. And by the time they had that done, and I had completed the cap, one of them did manage to make it to the point where they located my position, but not in the point where they actually managed to get a shot off. So this is my first proper standalone against 5 enemies and get the Kolbanov's medal in a straight up fight. And that, of course, is part of the reason that I got it, is because it was a straight up fight. The enemy basically came at me one at a time and allowed me to kill them off one by one. So we got number 1 by experience as well, just a first class mastery, and over 3,000 damage. We blocked quite a bit of damage as well. Over 4,000 damage blocked, which is a nice piece of damage blocked. So anyway, I'm rather chuffed with that. I'm rather pleased. It's another very rare medal to add to my collection, and I now have the only impossible ones I think left. So anyway, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed that. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please press like, comment, share. It really helps the channel out. And if you have not already done so, please subscribe to the channel. I will catch you all again soon. Bye for now.